Hello everyone, welcome to the second segment of this course where we will be discussing audio editing and MIDI. So the tool we will be using for this segment is called Reaper. Reaper is a digital audio workstation. What is a digital audio workstation? A digital audio workstation, often referred to as DAW, is a tool that allows you to record audio, edit audio, and depending on how good it is, do other things as well. Now, DAWs generally also do handle MIDI, so you can play virtual instruments. Much of the music you hear these days on the radio is a combination of actual recordings of people and people singing or playing instruments, along with what they call virtual instruments and synthesizers, that sort of thing. So in Reaper, you can do all of that. You can also do some relatively basic video editing. It's not really a video editing program, but because it handles video quite well, you can do things like replace the music in a video, or the audio in a video. So let's say you recorded a video of I don't know, nature, natural landscape, and you decide that you want to put music to that video. That you could do that in Reaper. You could upload, you can import the video into Reaper. You could splice it. You could cut out a certain part that you don't want, and you can certainly add audios. You can also add some basic transitions like text and things like that. We'll get into that just a little bit, but the main reason we're going to be using Reaper is for as an audio tool, which is really what it's intended to do. I don't know that I would make a movie on Reaper or anything like that, but I've done videos on Reaper actually, and it works quite well. So, right. So I give you a sense of what you could do in Reaper. In terms of audio recording, it's a multi-track software, so it allows you to record different tracks simultaneously as well as independently. So let's say if you want to record a band, you can you can have the drummer play, and then later you record the vocals, and then later you record the guitar, et cetera, et cetera. You could do this independently, or you could have different, let's say if you have several microphones, which is the way you would want to do it, is you mic different people, and then they're all recorded together but on different tracks. Typically, for that sort of work, I think it's best to do one at a time, but it kind of depends anyway. It depends on the style too. Anyway, so you can really, it's a very powerful program. One of the reasons I like it is because it's extremely powerful, but it's also very affordable. So for what you pay for it, and actually you don't really have to pay for it, and I'll tell you why that is in a minute, but you really get a very, very powerful program, and it's used by lots of professionals. It's kind of, it's not maybe as utilized in some other programs like Logic or Pro Tools, but it also costs a fraction of that, and I think it's just as powerful easily. And in fact, what you should do is, don't take my word for it, do your own research, and I think you'll find out that it's a very, very well established program. So it's not just like a little free program that we're using. Although I am mindful about keeping the cost down in this course, of course. But everything you will learn in here, all the skills you will learn in here, will be easily transferable to any other digital audio workstation. So if you use GarageBand or Logic or Cubase or whatnot, all the same kind of techniques will apply. They will just kind of be put in slightly different places, but they all more or less work the same way. Okay, so where do you get Reaper? Well, here's the website. Right here, it's called reaper.fm. And over here, you can get some information about the cost. And the way their strategy works is quite different than most, because you can actually you can download it and you can use it basically forever without it expiring. So you can evaluate it. They say here you can evaluate it for 60 days for free, but it's fully functional and nothing happens unless they've just recently changed it. For the longest time, you could basically continue to use Reaper forever, and what it'll do is it'll constantly, after 60 days, it'll start reminding you that you haven't paid for it. And then if you do decide to buy it, you can buy a $60 license, which is basically like a personal license. Is what I have actually, and And that basically means that you're making less, or $20,000 or less as a business, which I'm guessing it won't be the case for most of us, because I certainly don't make that much money using Reaper. Although I use Reaper and I have made money as from Reaper, but not that much. Okay, so in other words, if you have run a studio and you have Reaper as your main DAW, that you would be, the right thing to do would be to use a commercial license. Okay, very good. So as far as downloading, kind of like any other program, you just find the one that is the latest. And in this case, the latest one is September 3, 2021. And I'm gonna go ahead and download. I don't have Reaper on my computer now because I specifically removed it because I wanted to start from scratch, because I tend to tweak some settings and I wanted to make sure you and I see the same thing. So I'm gonna download this one, which will work on my computer. And one nice thing about Reaper, I'm gonna replace it because I had it already, is that it really is a very light program. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and I have had no problems running Reaper. And I know some programs are fussy about that. But Reaper, so in other words, if you have a Mac, you can use Reaper. If you have a PC, you can use Reaper. If you have Linux, you can use Reaper. You can run it on all kinds of machines. It doesn't really require a very powerful or very sophisticated kind of hardware to run, whereas other programs do. For instance, Logic, you can't use it if you're on a PC, so it's problematic, sometimes. Right. So let's find my Reaper. Where did you go? There it is. I'm gonna double click it. Okay, and it's gonna ask me all of this. I'm just gonna click OK, and now it's doing this, which is kind of what you might expect. And then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm on a Mac, okay, so bear with me. If you're on a PC, the installation process will look a little bit different, but essentially it's very straightforward. There's nothing special about this at all. I'm just going through the motions. And I think that's it. I think so. Let me see. Reaper, where are you? Yep, there it is. Okay, so then I'm just going to launch it. And it couldn't be opened because okay, this might happen to you if you have a very recent version of Mac OS. They have all kinds of malicious software blocking devices. So you're just going to have to go to your settings and go to security, if I can find it. Where's security and privacy? And then here, this is what's blocking it. So you have to say block open anyway. And I think that should work now. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you just have to kind of give it permission. So I just went to security and privacy, and then where it says allow apps downloaded from, you just have to say allow. Okay, there you go. So this is what you end up with. Okay, so this is pretty much where we're going to leave off. You should have something that looks like this. So when you're at this step, which hopefully you will get to with no problems, you can move on to the next video. See you soon.